Hello, in this video I will show you how to replace the clutch on Opel Corsa C 1.7 diesel. In order to replace the clutch we need to remove the gearbox. So first we start by removing the wheels, the two wheels on the front. Next we remove this cap and remove the nut that holds the drive axle. Next we remove the three bolts that hold the ball joint to the control arm. Next we will remove the CV joint from the wheel hub. Next we will remove the drive axle. We need a pry bar and we will pry it out from the gearbox, and it will come out eventually. The drive axle is out. Now we can take it out. On this car there is no drain plug for the transmission, so we just let off the oil that comes out from the drive axle when you remove it, and then afterwards you just fill it up. Now we remove the bolt for the drive axle and the bolts for the ball joint on the other side. Next we need to remove the drive axle from the gearbox. There is not much space here to pry it out with a pry bar, so you need to hammer it out a little bit until there is enough space to put in a pry bar. Here we've made enough space, so now we use a pry bar and we'll pry the drive axle out, and the drive axle is out. Next we'll remove the bolts that hold the front engine mount, and we'll remove the front engine mount. Next, we'll remove the two bolts that hold the exhaust pipe to the exhaust manifold. Next, we're going to remove the bolt for the rear engine mount. Next, we need to remove the front subframe. The subframe is held by 4 bolts, 2 on the front, 2 on the rear, but first we need to remove the 2 bolts that hold the steering rack. And these are the 2 bolts, one there and one there. And this is one of the bolts that hold the subframe, and on the other side is the other one, the bolt that holds the subframe. And these are the bolts on the front that holds the subframe. So we start by removing the 2 bolts that hold the steering rack. We need a wrench to hold the bolt where we remove it, on one side and on the other side. Before we remove the subframe, we need to disconnect the gear linkage. There is 2. One of them is this one. There is a bracket that we need to remove, and the gear linkage just goes up. The second gear linkage it's held by a bolt, but first it's better off if you have a marker and mark the exact position of the gear linkage, so that afterwards you put it in the same position. Otherwise the gears might not be in their exact position. Here I'm marking the gear linkage so that I know its exact position. And now I can remove the bolt and disconnect the gear linkage. Next, we'll loosen the 2 rear bolts on the subframe so that we can bring down the subframe a little bit in order to remove the bolts that hold the stabilizer link bushings. We're also loosening the bolts on the front of the subframe. That's how much I've loosened the bolts. This way the subframe went down a little bit, and now we have a little bit of access to the stabilizer link bolts. Now we can remove the bolts. There is 2 on one of the bushing and 2 on the other bushing. They're all out. Now the stabilizer link is free, and the last thing that we need to remove before dropping down the subframe is we have to remove these bushings on the exhaust so that the exhaust goes down. Once the subframe is all free from everything, we can take out the 4 bolts and just drop the subframe down. It's much easier. There's two people doing it because Subframe is not that light. It's kind of heavy, and but it can be done by one person as well. And that's the subframe removed. Now we just need to take it to the ground. Now I can put on the bushings on the exhaust so that it stays up there. Next I need to remove the starter motor. One of the bolts is over there and the other one is on the other side to remove the other bolt from the top. Now I'm removing this one from the bottom. Also I'm gonna remove one of the bolts that holds the engine to the gearbox. Next we go to the top of the car. We need to remove the coolant expansion tank and the fuel filter housing in order to make space for the to take out the bolts for the starter motor and for the gearbox. That bolt was the bolt that held the starter motor. Now the starter motor is free. Here we can see we have to remove this brake line hose which connects the master cylinder to the slave cylinder. It's held by one bracket. You just pull out the bracket and pull out the. And here I'm trying to show where all the bolts are that hold the engine to the gearbox. That's one of them. There is another one there. We need to remove them, and then we go afterwards to go to the bottom and remove the bolts on the bottom. This is the jack that I'm using to hold the engine up there while I remove the gearbox. So now I start removing the bolts that hold the engine to the gearbox. There's two on the top. Next I'm going to remove the gearbox mount. These are the bolts that hold it, the two bolts. There's the bolts removed. Next I'm gonna bring the engine down a little bit by turning this thing on the jack. And now we go underneath the car to remove the rest of the bolts that hold the engine to the gearbox. There's one, two bolts, third bolt, and there's another one or two on the back. We need to remove them all, and then we take out the gearbox. We can see that the starter motor is free. We don't need to remove it anymore, just we need to be disconnected from the gearbox. So now we start removing the bolts. Once we remove all the bolts that hold the gearbox to the engine, and we've made sure that we disconnected everything, now we can take out the gearbox. Make sure you use a transmission jack underneath because the gearbox is heavy, and just take out the gearbox. And now we have access to the clutch and the flywheel. We start removing the bolts that hold the clutch to the flywheel. After removing all the bolts, we can remove the clutch and put on a new clutch, or maybe change the flywheel as well. I haven't shown more of that, but I think what I've shown is enough. Hopefully it was helpful. Thank you for watching.